Hello YouTube land and welcome to a new episode in the 100-day Planner Crafter Challenge. This is episode 3 and today we are going to do day 21 all the way through to day 30. Thank you for joining, sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. We are on day 21, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining, and we have unlocked the latest drills, the latest in drilling pressure technology, and we slapped on a couple of them. 3 drills would be nice. They don't look like spiders. I'm not scared, I swear. I did spend a couple of time deep lake diving. Yes, the lake is now quite deep already, for some uranium and iridium ore based upon the rockets we sent up in the previous episode. The good news is they don't really necessarily despawn the ore, if I want to call it like that, but yeah, in the lake it's nice and easily visible, so we can spend some time finding them, so it's quite nice. I do, however, see a natural meteor shower. Lately they're quite less useful than they used to be, the natural ones. We've got a lot more elements available. I slapped on another nuclear reactor at tier 2, which brings up our power, and I check upon the stats a little bit, which is beautiful. I do build my first machine optimizer. They are quite useful. Then the stats stack, so you can have multiple machine optimizers in the same area, add on a fuse there, and have the stats increase. I do notice that I'd rather build them in the middle of stuff because there's a radius, and I would rather have them all in the same radius. Day 21 ends upon me doing a harvesting botanist impression. Eat your heart out, Matt Damon. Let's see, you do this quite often. I've got more than just potatoes, and that's basically that for day 21. Nothing special happens there. On day 22, some exciting things are happening today as we started with a meteor shower and a red sky that looked quite awesome. Again, just a basic shower, not as useful as they used to be, but again, they still look, it looks cool. I like it. Moving along on day 22, I find myself in what looks like the Grand Canyon. It's quite beautiful and quite like it. It looks nice. I wonder if water also eroded all of this, because that's how the Grand Canyon was created. Maybe this planet was a water-filled world before it became dry. I then found myself exploring the Grand Canyon, found a couple of boxes with quite useful things in there, especially the fuses. And I found another one of those previously frozen caves with some osmium and some sulfur. And as the good hoarder I am, I do endeavor to take everything I can, slap them all into a storage container, and head back home. Take a few seconds just to send up a couple of rockets again, because we need some plants in space. That is the place where plants live, in space. I take another machine optimizer at the end of the day, put them at the drills, and make the drills work better. On day 23, while exploring the Grand Canyon again, I see myself in an iridium cave, and like the good person I am, so anyway, I started looting. I head back home, take another rocket of heat multiplier and send it up into space. Another one, as I want to send another one into space. And then just take a few seconds to admire my world on Pride Rock like Simba and Mufasa, as our MTI index is 503. We've come far, I have to say. I just unlocked the ore extractor tier 2, which means we can now extract specific ores a lot better, some of the higher tier ores. I built an orbital reconnaissance satellite screen so I can see all the rockets in space. We already have so many, that's so fantastic. And then at the end of the day, 23, I find my first zeolite, which means we are progressing nicely. Day 24, we are already on 626 MTI and we are growing steadily. I gather myself some ore, and to think about it like this, we're only on day 24. 20 days ago we were on single TIs, and now we're already on 600 million TI in essence. As I go home and I see what I need to do for the newest rocket, the plant rocket, which basically helps with oxygen, another oxygen rocket, I noticed that I've unlocked the new heater, the T4 heater. It's going to make life nice and toasty. So, go back to the Grand Canyon. I still need to explore a bit, and as I'm exploring, I notice a massive structure in the distance, probably a super ship. Come to the ship, and I know what to do. This is my chance to loot. And as I quickly do my normal thing, build a base, build a beacon, so I know exactly where this location is on the map, won't get lost. Build myself a storage container, and of course I went to town on this shipwreck, looting everything I can. Enjoy. As I'm coming out of the ship for the first time, I see what I can only explain as the end of day's meteor shower. This, of course, is the best meteor shower. It is a super alloy meteor shower. This is the start of day 25, and what we get is basically, we've got the jackpot, let's just say this. And as you can see my screen shaking, there's a lot of super alloys landing. So what I now do is basically I spend day 25 and basically day 26 harvesting super alloy. Yes, that is what I did. Harvest super alloy, put it in boxes, harvest it, put it in boxes, harvest, put in boxes, and then I spend the next couple of days hauling it all back home. You would have just noticed I unlocked the super alloy rod. That is in essence 8 super alloys and 1 aluminium, and that makes a super alloy rod, and super alloy rods become quite useful in the future. As you can see, I end up with containers full. At the end of day 25, as I'm heading home, I can only describe what I see as a fantastic blue light which looks awesome. This is of course an osmium and sulfur meteor shower. Very useful, I would say. Osmium and sulfur is quite rare, there's only a couple of caves of them, and if you harvested the stuff, then it's harvested. And would you believe, as I'm putting the stuff in my containers, something happens. I get violently assaulted by a meteor. Yes, I've got a meteor on my head. Beautiful, isn't it? Luckily I didn't die. I don't know, I've probably got a head of steel. Going into day 26, as I mentioned earlier, we just harvested and brought everything back for the super alloys. As the day ended, I decided to send up 3 oxygen rockets just to boost a bit of oxygen and make life fantastic. The same with the other rocket, the plant rocket. There's no meteors, but there is a lot of pollen in the air. So again, if you've got hay fever, you suffer from hay fever, wear a mask. It's probably your best option. Sent up so many rockets, it does look fantastic. Going inside and just quickly check up on the stats a little bit, and oh, look at that, so nice. We're going nicely. We've got 3 plant rockets, 5 magnetic field rockets, which is pressure. We've got some heat. We've got seed rockets, and we've eclipsed GTI. We are now in Giga Terraformation Index already. Day 27 started with building another nuclear reactor tier 2, a couple of T4 heaters. These are the heaters I can now build on the outside, and they of course boost the heat and the pressure a little bit. Yes, the heaters now also give pressure, a lot more heat of course because they're heaters. And yeah, we can build them outside because they are quite massive, so it makes sense that you can't build them inside. And then of course I do the logical thing, I build a machine optimizer close by. Because why would I have the machine optimizer on the small machines when can I have it outside and boost these machines at 250% efficiency? The T1 machine optimizer can only contain one fuse, where the T2s can contain 3 fuses. Soon, very soon we'll be there. Yeah, so of course, as I mentioned earlier, it's got a radius, so you would rather build your machines on the outside, and when hovering over the optimizer you can see what it covers. Now for the rest of the day, I basically spent just collecting all the resources in the near vicinity, the algae and all those things there. So enjoy the ride. At the end of day 27, I find a common larva. The common larva is quite important for the future. We can use this to basically build and generate butterflies and stuff like that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've got life. Day 28 brings us to what I call the moon fields. As you can see, it was daylight just now, and now it's night with stars in the sky. It is a beautiful place where I find boxes, osmium, zeolite, aluminium, super alloys, and one of the most important things, pulsar quartz. Would you look at that? Pulsar quartz. One of the most important resources in the late game that you spend hours looking for. We've just unlocked the autocrafter. Beautiful. The autocrafter is basically a machine that looks at boxes within a radius and it can build items for you. I've just unlocked a nuclear fusion generator, which I would say is a nuclear reactor on steroids. So of course I go home and build a nuclear reactor. To think that this small nuclear reactor, fusion reactor, is almost as powerful as all the other power suppliers combined. And just quickly slap down another water collector because I am going into the biology section, which means I will need a lot more water. Day 29 started with me hauling all the loot I gathered over the last couple of days backwards and forwards between the base, going out, fetching loot, coming home, going out, fetching loot, coming home. And as I'm busy sorting out the stuff, I see what I can only describe again as the end of days. It is quite beautiful. We've got a super alloy meteor shower. And I'm just going to take a few seconds to enjoy this. So, enjoy the view with me. That was close. Let's find a place I can hide and watch. Yeah, we've got a quickly zeolite ore. And yeah, let's enjoy the show. Let's enjoy the view. Well done, Planet Crafter. You did something quite pretty. I basically spend the rest of the day, almost to the evening, watching the meteor shower, and then I basically expanded the base slightly to a second floor just so that I can make the autocraft to be quite useful, and it can be in the vicinity of all the boxes to be usable in essence. Because if it isn't in a range of boxes, then the autocrafter can't work. Starting day 30 again nice and early, what we've done is, because we now have the autocraft outside, we need to spend some time moving the food from inside to outside. So yeah, the autocrafter can then build all the biolab items as well, the plastic nuggets, the fertilizers, things like that. Spend a few minutes expanding the second floor just to make life a lot more easier, you know. So after expanding the second floor on the outside for the autocraft, I expand the base a little bit because we've just unlocked something quite important. We now have the incubator, a beautiful machine that will allow us to create butterflies, bees and silkworms. And this will increase our insect ratio. That again boosts the terraformation index significantly. Of course, every crafter needs a box, so I then spend the time taking the larvas that I've collected from the outside to the inside. We've got two butterfly larvas, a silk larva and a bee larva, and a fishy thingy that of course we can't use yet. We've unlocked it, but that's fine. And this, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of day 30. Yes, we are already at day 30. Our terraformation index is currently sitting at 5.96 GTI. Thanks again for joining in our third episode of the PlanetCraft 100-day series. We are on day 30. We are moving along swiftly. And join me next time for episode 4, where we'll go to day 40 or even day 50. Who knows? We'll have to see. Thanks for joining and have a wonderful day.